Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how you can make YouTube thumbnails, really simple ones for free without having to download any software. The only thing you'll have to download is the finished image itself, and I'm going to show you how you can make some simple ones today. I could probably do a more advanced one in the future, but in all honesty, sometimes the more simple it is, the better, because you only want it to do a few purposes: to brand your channel. If you make them all similar, it'll give your channel a good theme, and also you want it to give out info for people that notice things more visually. So instead of reading the title, they'll probably come to the thumbnail as a good idea of what the video is about. So the first thing you want to do is go to ipicky.com. This is the website we're going to use. Don't worry, you don't need any sort of skills, and if you follow this video you'll have a pretty simple but effective thumbnail no matter what level you are technically. So ipicky.com, I think you'll need to create an account. It was a long time since I first came on here, so I don't know if you need to create an account, but it shouldn't take too much time, and I don't think they bombard you with emails, so you don't have to worry about that. Create the account and then get just a plain image. This can be anything you want. I'd normally recommend, well, I will recommend that it's something quite simple without too much going on, because this is going to be the background of the thumbnail. Make sure it's either 1280 by 720 pixels or 1920 by 1080. You don't have to be too, well, you don't have to worry about that too much, but it's best to have one that's in the right resolution so you don't end up coming to a finished item and then having to squash it all down. So once you've got the chosen image uploaded that you want to work with, double click on it and you'll get into the editor. You can see you've got the main image in front of you. There's a few things we can do with this image. If you're not happy with it, we can change the hue or the saturation and it will change the colour. So we could do literally anything to this, change it any colour, so you can choose any image, and if you want to change the colour of it, do this now without messing up anything you do in the future. You could change it a lot. I'm just trying to see, I'm using two monitors at the moment and they look slightly different on each one, so I'm going to try and, in fact I'll leave it as it is, but that's just showing you what you can do. Other things you can do, what I'd recommend doing is resizing the image. It's currently 1080p, which is full HD. It doesn't need to be because it's only a thumbnail, it's only going to be small. I'd recommend changing this now before it's too late, so we'll change this to 720 and it should do the width automatically. Yes, 1280. So now that's a bit smaller. It'll be a smaller file size because we want it to be less than 2 MB, which is the cap. We can do other things to our background image. This really doesn't require any technical skill. The website does it all for you. If you go to this tab here, we can add some light effects. So obviously that one looks horrendous, but we can add some texture to it. Perhaps something like that, I don't know how that looks. And we can also add more texture here. So I'm messing around, this is purely just so you've got an idea of what you can do. We'll leave it like that. That actually gives it quite an interesting cloud effect. And then this is all we really need. If you're happy with that, you can stick with it. You can add a frame. I'm not going to. I'd recommend not, because you can do if you want, but there's not much point in it. And in fact that doesn't look too bad. We'll keep that, and I'll show you what you do need to do if you do create a border. This is not a must, but you can go back and resize it again, because the it doesn't resize it for you, it just adds a few extra pixels on, which is a bit annoying. So we'll change it back to 720p. That's not right, what have I done? 720p, and it doesn't look too bad. We can now go to this screen where you can upload other images. I'm not going to do that today, but in fact I'll give you an example just in case you want to do it yourself. You want to make sure you get a PNG image, and that basically means that you've got a transparent background unless you want a big white box around your image. Make sure it's PNG so that it'll keep its transparency when you save it. And on Google, when you're looking for images, make sure you get a grey and white checkered box, because that indicates it's transparent. So I'll show you an example of that in a minute, but what we can do is go to the add text button, and we can choose any of the text down here. It's really just up to you what text you want, and we can put the text here what we want. If I just do that, I'll give you a decent idea. I think I spelled that right. I can't be bothered to change it if I haven't. Make it the right colour by clicking on the colour thing. And you may have noticed, well, that's not going to fit, and it's a little too wide, so we can squash it down and then make it larger, or we can simply do that and then click the center button, and it'll align it centrally. Then we can stretch it back out, and you get something like that. So you haven't really had to do much so far, just follow these simple steps and you should have something like that. What I like to do is right click on the text and go down to duplicate and drag it slightly up and to one side, or down and to one side, then right click and bring it backward. That'll take it behind the original text, and then we can change the colour of the second text, the text we duplicated, to black, and it'll create a nice shadow behind it. Makes it stand out a little bit better. And now what I'll do is I'll show you how to get pictures up and make sure that they fit right and everything, and a few tips how to improve them. So you go to the add photo, then you'll navigate to your computer files, and you can find the photo you chose. Remember, it needs to be a PNG and a transparent background for it to have a good effect. Okay, so I've uploaded this random play button. It's blue, so it kind of goes with the background. Notice that it has got a white thing, but when I put it on there, it will disappear. That's what I talked about, the transparent background. A few things we can do with it. We can change its size. We can also do the thing I said with the text, but it's slightly different with a image. We want to drag it, move it up, bring it backward like we did before, but this time we want to go for a color overlay. Now, if we want it black, which if you're going to have a shadow, that's probably the color you're going to go for, you don't have to worry about whatever's on the image, because it'll just let no color through, just black. So that kind of works. Just make it fit it a bit better. So that's what you can do with images if you want to make them stand out, make them a bit more 3D. You can also if we put that just over there for now, we can turn it into more of a shadow, squash it down a little bit and drag it out. I mean, you're not going to get a good effect there, but if I just have it there for now, you'll see what I mean with the shadow. Then we can change the fade of this, and you've got a proper shadow. Just move that better. So you can do that anywhere. Obviously I wouldn't have it covering up the thumbnails bit, but you get the idea. And at the end you've got that. Now that looks, let me just sort this out before I start saying how okay it looks. I'll delete them. But even with that, it jumps out at you. You can obviously add other images, change the text. You could create a slightly different text on an angle, different fonts, and it'll drag people in towards your videos because it looks quite professional. It looks simple, but it tells you how it's a video about how to make YouTube thumbnails before reading the title, which is a good thing, and it jumps out at you, and you're more likely to click on this video, therefore it's going to get you likes and views, should I say. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful, because it will hopefully help your channel, and I hope it does. I wish you luck making them. If you want to see similar videos like this, click the like button and subscribe, and perhaps I could do a more advanced tutorial on this in the future. So iPicky.com, all the links are in the description. Leave a like if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.